Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Mastermind. I am Paul Baxter, the implementation coach for the Mortgage Mastermind Group, and we are back fresh after the holidays, just before the brand new year 2015. I, for one, am super excited about. I always get excited about the new year because I'm a history buff. I absolutely love history, but I absolutely refuse to live in the past. I am excited about the prospect of a new year. Whatever happened in 2014, good, bad, indifferent, it doesn't make any difference because in a couple of days we've got a brand new year and it all starts again. We start from scratch. I mean, it begins at zero. We have, nothing we've done yesterday or a month ago or 6 months ago makes a lick of difference for what we've got going on in 2015. And that's a wonderful feeling to go into it fresh, clean, ready to make a difference and do anything you want to do in your life and in your business, and that's an exciting feeling. So I always get super pumped up about about the new year, not just 2015, about the new year in general, because it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to move forward. It's an opportunity to do something new, to do something different. It's an opportunity to do, if you're doing well with what you're doing, it's an opportunity to do a lot of the same, and an opportunity to add to it. It's just, it's newness. And I love that. Now, I know, Peggy, there's some new things coming. I have not had an opportunity to read this article yet. You're the second person I've seen posted, and I just have not had a chance to open it up and read this article yet about some new appraisal stuff that's going to change a little bit. I don't know the particulars of it. Peggy, are you mic'd up today? Are you able to talk to us? Peggy, are you mic'd up today?
Sure.
Hey there, how are you?
Yep.
So,
I'm good.
are you able to give us like a little Reader's Digest version of this appraisal time bomb coming in January?
That's just a Frank and Brian post, and
Okay.
it has to do with the automated system having 20 additional comps for your appraisal that it wants to use.
Okay. Is that going
I just
to...
did it to generate engagement.
Okay, perfect. And I like it. It's a, you know me, I'm always about the positive stuff, and this, you want to generate engagement in any way you possibly can. I just wondered if there was something major coming through that we should all know about.
I have not been notified of anything by my underwriting department, so I'm not personally terribly worried about it.
Okay. Gives you another opportunity to contact and talk to agents, though.
You got it.
Perfect reasoning. I absolutely love it. How was your holiday?
Oh, I got the flu and I'm still not feeling really great. So
You want to know what's funny is I had family coming to my house on Christmas Day, and Christmas Eve I started getting sick. Christmas Day I was sicker than a dog, but I still trooped it up, and I cooked a big giant prime rib and everything else, and my wife, I don't know how you made it through, because the next day she
kind of
was
the
sick.
same thing. I got sick Christmas Eve too, and I'm just really kind of dragging right now. And I was only going to stay at the office until your class was finished.
Well, there you go. We'll make it a well worth it next hour for you.
And we'll both be feeling better really soon, I'm sure.
Indeed. Love you, hon. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
All right, so that's a great way to generate engagement, generate posts, a reason to call. I just wondered if there was something different going on. Now, I had mentioned before we started the recorder today that my good friend and our good friend and mastermind, James Bukovic, had called me a little bit earlier with some questions about, he had an experience with going on Fiverr.com, and as we talked about, as we've been planning on and discussing throughout the month of December, presentations, and trying to make that a big part of your 2015 game plan, because it really can be one of those ways that you differentiate yourself, you brand yourself as an expert, both to your agents as well as to consumers. And James went to Fiverr to get a flyer, just based on Ed now we're all coming on Friday and sharing with us his flyer and giving his permission. He just wanted a duplicate flyer and have some things editable so that he could change dates when he wanted to, or change a couple of key elements when he wanted to teach on something else. And on Fiverr, they were, the initial thing is $5, but you want something editable, that's $20. You want this, it's another this, it's that. And you add it all up, at the end of the day, it's $60, $70, $80, $100 you've got invested for this simple flyer. And so we discussed it and talked through some things, and well, how did you get them to sample? Well, I just took a Jing image of it. Okay, well, you've got all the necessary components, and I asked James to come on the class today and let me share with you guys some simple ways, and specifically share with James a simple way to be able to do what he's trying to do. I don't know if Fiverr has changed. I know in my experience when I've bought things from Fiverr, I've only bought video intros. That's the only thing I've ever had Fiverr do for me, is buy a video intro. I typically write my own content. I typically will make a flyer or make my own images when I need things like that. So I don't use Fiverr for a whole lot of stuff. I'm just being completely upfront and frank. And if there is anybody on this call who has used Fiverr to have a flyer built, what was your experience with it? Did you run into the same thing with add-on fees for things that you needed extra? I know when I was buying the intro videos, it literally, and I bought 6 or 7 of them and bought from different people each time we did it. It was $5 each time. It was a pretty standard cut and dry situation. And I got a response on that. Okay, so Lisa's saying in her experience, now she didn't have a flyer built, James, but she had a New York State realtor list of 55,000 real estate agents split by county, and the person on Fiverr did that for $5. That's a pretty standard cut and dry situation. I don't know where all the extra fees are coming from on there, James, but if it were me, I'd probably go and try a different vendor, or try one of the different hits that I got on my search, if that's the route I'm going to go. But James, I asked you to be here today because I want to show you how simple it is to kind of do what you're looking to do on your own. The first thing you need to have open is a PowerPoint, and I'm just going to, let me get a blank slide going here so I can start with a fresh, clean slate. So you would have PowerPoint open. Or, you know what, I'm going to start from scratch as if you were just opening it yourself. And that way you can see every single step here. The first thing you're going to do is just open up PowerPoint, and you're going to open up a blank presentation. And what I always like to do when I'm doing something like this is I'm going to go ahead and delete by clicking on that top line up here. I can delete those boxes that are in there, and I just have a clean blank slate here. The next thing I'm going to do, and this is paramount that you do this next so that you have it looking the way that you want it to look, right? That's important, that you have the same look that you want. And so you're going to come over here to the design section, and then the design section, you're only ever going to mess with 2 parts. The first part that you're going to do is you're going to make it the right size for it being a flyer that you want to utilize, because you want it to be the right size of flyer. You want it to look right, right? So you're going to go into slide size, and you're going to give it a custom slide size. When you do that, you get the slide size up here, and in PowerPoint it goes by width, height, and inches. So width is first, and I know that I want it to be 8.5 inches wide, and I want it to be 11 inches high. Does that make sense so far? James, I want to make sure you're with me on this, because it's important that you know how to do this first part. Because the design section is one of those places where I never mess with any of this stuff. All I do is go to design, and then I only ever mess with slide size and format background. First, I'm going to do the slide size, again, 8.5 by 11 inches, and then I click OK. Now, if you're using PowerPoint 10, which I think you are, you're going to get this option here. I always do maximize instead of ensure fit. So I'm going to go with maximize and then click OK. And all it does is it makes sure you're looking at your flyer size here. Notice the difference in size now, or how the look of my slide on my PowerPoint looks a little bit different now. Instead of being wide, it's nice and long, like a flyer would be. Now down here on the bottom, it's very important for you to note it's at 63%. That's why I can see it all on one screen. This isn't the actual size of what you're going to print here, James. This is just so you can see it on the screen. It's 63% of its actual size. If I want to go to actually 100%, I can click it to 100%, but now I can't see it all on the same screen. You notice that? It's on two screens now. It doesn't look quite right, and I can't really edit it that way. So by default, they put it at about 63% so that you can see what's going on. Make sense? Cool. So we're on the same page so far. So once you're done with that part, you're done with the sizing option, and you're now going to go into the format background. Now, format background gives you several options here. You can format it with a solid fill, a gradient fill, pattern fill, hide background. What you're going to select for what you're trying to do, James, is the one that says picture or texture fill. It's that box that says picture or texture fill. Don't worry about what it comes up with here. That's not what you're going to end with. On the same page so far? Perfect. All right, so the next step, once you've selected picture or texture fill, you go to Insert Picture From, this little section right here, and you can either choose from File, from Clipboard, or Online. Now here's the easy way to do this. Remember I mentioned that you've taken that picture with Jing to get what you're looking for. You're going to start by going to your Jing ball, and that middle option there on Jing is History. Tell me then when you've opened up your history. So it would be the Jing ball, and that middle option there is History. That brings you into all of the Jing images that you've taken. That's your Jing history. Inside there, notice I don't have what I'm looking for here, so you can scroll down through all of your Jings and find all those things that you're looking for. And yes, it'll come up with some funny stuff. Everything that you've Jinged will come up in there, even Obama kissing babies will come up in your Jings if you've Jinged it before. But that's your history, okay? Once you've got that, you find the picture that you're looking for in your history, and see there's that flyer that we're looking for, and you would click on it. Okay? Now by clicking on it, I get three options. I can view it, I can share it, or I can delete it. So if I click the eyeballs to view it, it's just like I just took that first Jing image. The same thing occurs. I can save it, I can copy it. Now, if I copy it, remember one of these options over here says Clipboard. So if I select Clipboard, boom, because I had it copied to my clipboard, it just now took what was on my clipboard and made it the background. That's the background now of the slide that I just made. Does that make sense? Let me do that one more time for you. Let me close this. I'm going to close my history again. And I'm going to share a different picture. I'm going to put a different one on there. I'll put this one back in just a second, James, and show you how you can edit this. But let me show you one more time using a different picture. I'm going to hover over my Jing ball. Oh, wait. Again, I'm in Format Background, Design, Format Background, Picture and Texture, and then in a second I'm going to use Clipboard. Before I click Clipboard, though, I come into my Jing and my history, and let's say I want to use my thumbs up guy as my background. I click on it and click the eyeball so that now I've got that image. That image is captured here, and I can click the copy button, and now that's on my clipboard. Okay, so now if I select clipboard on PowerPoint, I'm using that as my background. Okay, now I'm going to come back and I'm going to get this again. Now I can close that stuff. And I'm going to use this as my background. So now that's my background. Check this out. This flyer is now my background. That's my slide at 100%. Okay? So one of the first things I need to do is I need to put my picture of my parking spot in my building right there. Okay? Let me come back to 63% here so I can actually see what I'm working with. So you'll need your editable parts, this is a background. So once you've got your background, you can kind of close this up. I can't see it with my with my thing in the way, but you can click the DX and close this up, and now you've got your slide available to you. So if you come home or insert. If you wanted to insert an image here, now you would have to probably play with the picture pretty good to make it mesh really well, but if, let's say for instance, you want your address in this bubble, what I would do is come in here and I would insert a text box. I'm going to insert that text box right there. Oops. Okay, sorry, I didn't have a text box. So I'm going to insert my text box right about there, and I'm going to start typing. So that's not looking so good so far, so let's do this. Spread it out, make sure it's at the end of both of those. And then I need to put enter Palm. I know it's not looking good so far, but give me a minute on it. You'll love this. Palm Harbor, Florida, 34684. Right? So I've got that for the most part in there. I'm going to slide this up just a little bit. I'm going to highlight everything that's in my text box first, right? I'm going to change to centered. Then I'm going to change to, let's go with white. Okay, now it's just kind of overlaying right there. And then watch what I do here. I'm going to click on the box and I'm going to right-click on the box. All I did just now was right-click on the box. Why is it not giving me text wrapping? Okay, then what I need to do is I need to go Shape Fill. What is that color? Well, that's not going to be as easy as I thought it was going to be. Why is that not going over the box? Let's delete this box. Let's find another box to put in there. Let's go with a shape this time. Let's go with an oval shape. Let's put our oval shape right over top of their oval shape. Right? So that might be a little easier to put our oval shape right over top of their oval shape. The only dilemma you're going to have is you're going to have trouble trying to find the exact color match. It's a little more green than it should be. It's a little more blue than it should be. Yeah, that'll be the only trouble you have, is trying to find an exact color match that matches that same kind of greenish. It's a lot darker than that, though. Maybe right in that range. Oof, even darker. That'll be the only trouble you've got, is trying to, if you're going to try and match it. But maybe you don't match it. Maybe you make it look different enough that it doesn't try and match it. And then you just type in your address. You know what I mean? You would just type in your address at that point. You want to insert your picture in the middle over address. Okay, that's easy enough to do too, so let me get rid of this box. Okay, so if I wanted to put my picture here instead, I would come over here first to insert, and then I would go with pictures, then I would grab my picture. Check this out, you're going to love this. So I'm going to grab my picture and I'm going to insert it, right? But it's like a square over a round hole. But check this out, if I go with the round thing, and then pull it a little bit, maybe not quite so much, come inside just a touch. You can do it just like that. Yeah, Peggy says that's exactly, so Peggy hit the nail on the head with that one. She said, as far as like trying to match that color, like with a text box or something, instead of like my picture, maybe I do my picture here. Make it fill out the spots. I don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot of my face on that thing. But doing like a let me put that text box back in here. So doing like a text box, it doesn't have to match. It just has to go like like with matching clothes, like your tie with your socks. It doesn't have to be an exact match. It's just got to go together. So don't worry too much about, like, can I change the red color on top to a lighter green? No, that's the thing. So what you've done here, James, is you've just taken somebody else's flyer as an image. I don't have any editability of the stuff. This is a background. And so I can't change any of this font. If I want to change something, I actually have to come in here and grab, let's say, like a shape. And I've got to drop my shape over top of what's already there. And then I'll go, let's say I want this to be more of a dark blue, and then I would, oops, I got it a little bit too far because now I'm covering the line there, right there. So then I would start typing my message. And then once I've got my message in there, now I've got to play with the font, you know, go in there and change this to a nice cool cursive. Where was the one I was playing with the other day? Yeah, that's a good one. Then I definitely need it to be much bigger than that. Ooh, that's a little too big. What's 48 look like? 48 looks pretty good. And then I want my color to stand out, so I would come in here and do like a green or something like that. So you would have to actually take over it. No, you don't have any editability on the bottom stuff other than, so what you would have to do, you don't have the ability to edit this. So what you need is to create, if you want to be able to edit the whole flyer, things like the name and stuff without having to insert. So what you would need to do, so let me just, hold on. What I would do with this, if I'm looking for the easiest way to do it, I'm just going to insert the key elements, like my address would go up here, okay? I would go in and I would get my company logo and I would insert picture. I don't know that I've got a logo other than this. This is going to be huge. So let me make this much smaller. And I'd probably stick my logo over top of that logo, you know, just to make it mine. Boom, so I've got my logo in there. I need my phone number in there, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to insert a rectangular shape. Yeah, I'm going to cover over top of that web address as well. You know, and then put call or email, call, or email. Maybe have to make this a touch bigger. Or my font just a touch smaller. We'll go down to 16. And I don't want it centered, so I'm going to uncenter that. And then I'm going to go with my shape fill, and I'm going to make my shape white. Oops, I should have changed my font color first. Hold on, let me change my font color so that that stands out. And there's my shape. Now my shape has an outline also. So let me change my shape outline, and now it just looks like my phone number was meant to be there. You know, it's a lot easier than that. Starting from scratch, you can do it either way. It's just a matter of, you know, how much effort do you want to put in it. If you're doing them on this, if it were me, I'd probably start it from scratch, and kind of create my own. And we can do that if you'd like, you know, make an editable one. Let's start from scratch and do one that gives us the ability to kind of insert, and let's begin with a nice broad border. And let's say you are invited to our exclusive initiated. How about not? Okay, now I'm back on track. You are invited to our exclusive Homebuyers Workshop. Okay. Let's first and foremost make it pretty. Let's give it some prettiness. Let's give it some size. I think 48 was what we had talked about with size, and I'm going to right align that. Let me do this. All right, that's good. That's good. I like that. Now, I'm not a big fan of that color. What color would you guys say would be like a good? I'm a fan of the blues because blues kind of, but also reds capture your eyes and make you look to see what the words on there are. So, what color would you say would you start with? Like a light green or a lighter red? So let's go to shape fill. It's pretty cool. Now, what color font would you go with then? Because white doesn't seem like it pops with that. That blue does, though. Okay, I'm close to that. We don't need all that. All right, so let's see. I don't know. I know we've looked at this and we don't have the same kind of a drop down, but this could work as well. So let me, let's see, shape, fill. What would be a good contrasting color? That's going to come out as, yeah, that kind of goes well. Not foreclosure, foreclosure. Short sale. Distressed properties. Oops. The point is you can put all your stuff in here. So we're going to keep that at white. And we're going to give this shape the same blue. And then we're going to give the shape outline the same blue. So you'll never know there's two shapes there. I could even go as far as shrinking this up and then dragging it up a little bit. There you go. So you can put your stuff in there, but that's all editable now. How did you get that format box to come up on the right? I'm trying to do it along with you. Okay, so when I was on here, when I'm on here, I went to shape outline, and then I went to weight. Now, when I went to weight, it went to more lines. And that gave me that format box. But I don't want to format that shape like that. I didn't want to play with the width and the transparency. That's actually what I was looking for, was compound type. To give it a little bit of a contrasting border shape. But that's how I got to it, and then you close format background like that. So I clicked on it again, shape outline or shape fill, and then you can also do picture or texture stuff on your shapes. Outlines, it would be the weight, and then more lines opens up that format box. Oh, okay. But you still got the formatting tool that you needed. Yours is probably 707 if you got a pop-up box, a formatting pop-up box. I absolutely love PowerPoint, though. It's one of my favorites. All right, so what do we need next on our flyer? Learn all about mortgage products and options available. Welcome, first-time buy-up and investment buyers. Learn all about mortgage products and options available. So we're going to insert a text box here. We'll just do a regular old text box this time. Now move that up a little bit and say, learn all about mortgage products and, what did it say? Options available. And options available. Okay, need to stretch that out just a touch. Still a little too big. Down to 16 again. Perfect. And options available. That was a symbol on his, right? Yeah, I could probably. And then, welcome. And then we're going to change the font of that to our cursive that we used before. And we're going to change the size of that up quite substantially. We're going to change the color of that to the color that we have been using. And then we're going to come back. What was that? First-time buyers? First-time buy-up and investment buyers. Absolutely recording today. Absolutely. And I'm going to save this when we get completed here. I'm going to save this for you. All right, so it looks like my little arrow here might be a little bit too long. So I'll shorten that up just a touch. And then we want to start putting in our dates. So I'm going to insert, and here's the easy way to do it. I'm just going to insert a rectangular shape. There's where my dates are going to go, right? And so now I know exactly how much space I've got, and I can just simply start typing in here. I'm going to do this on Saturday. Saturday seminar times, right? Why are you so crunched up to the top of that thing? Saturday seminar times, and then let's see. We'll go 9:30 to 11 a.m. 12 to 1:30 p.m. Right? And then I think he says something a little, let's go. So this, I'm going to change the font size and all that. Let's go back into our cursive, our French style. Let's make that a little bit bigger. I like that. We're going to need to make this font color black. Okay, and there's a reason why we're making the font color black. Now we're going to change those two. We're going to keep that the same, but we're going to make that font color black. Now we're going to come over here and we're going to type in coffee and Danish is served. I'm going to highlight that. Oop, nope, I don't want the AM. I just want this part. Highlight that. I'm going to change the font size down to 14 on that to make it a little bit smaller. And I'm also going to change the font color, make it kind of a little bit different. What will stand out on the... Yeah, I'm going to go with this orange here, and that's okay. I don't mind if it clashes against the blue. I'm not worried about that right now. Okay. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say coffee and snacks served. I'm going to highlight that and change the color, change the size. Boom. Got that going. Okay, then I'm going to come into my shape and I'm going to go with shape fill white, shape outline white. So now it just matches the rest of the background and I can drag that. Now that's just a cool part of my flyer. Oh, I skipped a whole bunch of parts in there. So let me go back in there. So 9:30 to 10. Coffee and registration. Right? Coffee and registration. Well, and then from, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Let's come back to 18. We'll have to change that font back. And then we'll go from 10. Oh, come on, I changed it. That was giving me a fit from 10 to 11. What was it we had? Today's home buying process. Keep it on the same line, that way it doesn't mess us up. And then 11, okay. Gotta have some Q&A. Well, it's easier to just switch it this way. Goodness. Giving me a hard time. And then a big old space. And then the and symbol. We're going to make that big and bold so it stands out. And let's make that a nice deep blue that we've been using. 1 to 130. Gotcha. Okay. So you can change your times up as you wish. I need to make my box a little bigger so I've got more room now. 12 to 12:30. Coffee and registration. What was the second piece to today's home buying process? Okay, easy enough. And then we'll make it pretty. 14. Go. Done. And then again, we will do some Q&A from 1:30 on. We'll do Q and A. Okay, now that becomes part of our flyer. No, there's got to be, the one thing that I'm noticing is we've got this big open empty space over here. I mean, that's a big open empty space. So one of the things you may want to think about doing is going to Google and looking up doesn't matter how you spell it, and then go to images, or maybe even better yet, that was bringing up a little map action of it. Come to the map action of it. Show me where the Panera Bread that I'm going to be doing my seminars at is. Come on, bring it up. Come on, Google. There we go. Where is what I want? I want the street view. Street view. Boom, there's the street view of my Panera Bread. No signage. There we go. Signage. Okay, so then I come down over here and I grab my jingy jing jing. I grab my Panera Bread and my image, and I capture that, and I copy that, and I come back over here, and I paste that baby in there, and I have to shorten that quite a bit. I'm okay with that. Let's format that image and give it some life. Let's get some more options. I need some more options. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's the option I was looking for. Center out, right there. Boom. Now I got my local Panera Bread right up in there. And then, like you said, maybe drop my image in there. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to insert a picture. I may as well drop the old logo in there while I'm at it. I'm on the page. I had it open and available. May as well do it. So we'll drop that on there, and then we're going to come over here and insert another picture. And this time we are going to just get the regular picture, insert that. But we want to do the same kind of deal with the fuzz. Yeah, nope, that doesn't work on that one. That worked better on that one. So kind of drop it over there on the side a little bit, and, you know, hang it over the curb. So it's kind of showing me that's who's going to be doing it. And then insert over here on the bottom another box that's going to allow me to say RSVP call 747. And I want my RSVP to kind of stand out a little bit, so we're going to give it the funky French style. And then we're going to make it somewhat big. Boom. We're going to make it let's make it that navy blue standing out color. And then our phone number, we're going to make that nice and easy for everybody to see. That's going to be black because this whole thing's going to be white. Let's come back into here. Or so I would need to, because my is so long, we'll change that font up to something a little bit shorter. And then again, I'm going to go with shape, white, outline, white, so it just kind of fits all up in there. I need to make that a little bit wider. Boom, fits all up in there. And then I'm going to insert one more shape. So we'll change this font to our nice blue. Maybe add a little bit of something extra to it. It looks blocky. It looks blocky. What about our French style? I like our French style. I don't like it like that. I want it less centered, so that way I can move it on over, center it up there. Maybe make my font just a touch bigger. We'll go with a 20. Perfect. And then again, I'm going to go shape fill, white, shape outline, white. And now I've got a flyer built. Maybe add some additional information if I needed it. Absolutely, James. I'll be glad to send you a copy of that. Let me copy this email address real quick. Bear with me 1 second, my friend. Boom. Done. I'll send it to you. Absolutely. What else would we include? What else would we, Okay, so get all the answers to all your questions. So, okay, we got a nice little space here where we can kind of do something, and I'd like to do that. Let's do this. I'm first going to move this off for just a second, and then I'm going to insert a shape, and that shape is going to go right. It's a little bit high. Let me move this just a touch. Okay, boom. We're going to put that right there first, and then we're going to go shape fill, and I believe that's the color we did, and then we're going to go shape outline there. So I think we're good on that. We're then going to take our logo. We're going to cut it, and we're going to paste it. Boom, and that should let me ride right on top of this. Still keeping my logo in there. Perfect. Boom, right there, that goes. And then that gives me the opportunity to come in here and insert one more little shape. I don't want to do a shape on this one. This one's going to be better as a text box. So I'm going to go a text box. From there to there is my text box, and I'm going to say, get all of your questions answered. Like what? Can I afford to buy a home? What is a short sale? All right, so let's get some of these questions answered. Can I afford to buy a home? What is a short sale? How do I finance small and large repairs? How do I finance small and large repairs? How can I buy a bank-owned property? What rules and regulations do I need to be aware of? What rules and regulations do I need to be aware of? So let's make those questions nice and small so they fit. Boom. They fit. We're going to go ahead and italicize them so that they differentiate a little bit. And we're going to bold that one. Oh, there it is. There's your finished product, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait. I think we got to have that FDIC and equal housing thing on there, don't we? Do you have to have that? Do you have to have that equal housing? And I know we're running long, guys. I appreciate y'all hanging with me. What does that say? Member FDIC? We'll just get us one of those then. That's all we gotta do. We'll get us one. Shrink it ink. And we'll make it fit perfectly right there. Boom. Yep, that's it. There you go. How'd that make you feel? That's the equal housing thing, right? Yeah, that's it. So if you went to print it, that's all you. So let me do this. I'm going to go File. I'm going to go Save As. I'm going to go Computer. I'm going to go Mortgage Mastermind Group, and we're going to call this Seminar Flyer from Class 12-29-14. Oops, those aren't dashes. That's a dash. That's a dash. Save. All right, boys and girls, that is it for today. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. James, I'll shoot that over to you when I shoot a couple minutes here, man. I'll shoot that over to you very shortly. Guys, girls, have a fantastic day and a half. I will be here on New Year's Eve. I will be here Wednesday. If you guys would like to be here and hang out with me as well on Wednesday, hey, James, that'll be $5, please. Excuse me. I told you I had been sick. No $5 is needed, man. No $5 is needed. Guys, I will be here on the 31st. I'll be here for a class at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I really hope that you guys will join me, hang out with me. We'll do some stuff. Alan, how did I do on PowerPoint class, brother? I know you were hanging out with us. I'm hoping you might have learned a trick or two on that one today, because I kind of did some things I hadn't done before. Awesome. Good to see you, my friend. Happy holidays. Happy New Year if I don't see you guys on the 31st, but I will be here for a class on the 31st, so plan on it. Look forward to seeing you. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. We'll see you soon.